ladies, and welcome to my channel. I'm going to just get started in on the reading for current energies for today's Monday. So I would say current energies for October 21st, perhaps through, oh gosh, maybe through to October 25th. Things are changing really fast, and there are a lot of different scenarios going on, and I only read for the Sacred Union Collective and those who identify as being twin flames. So I have been in an incredibly intense and active process myself, being someone who is on a twin flame. Haha. I like to think more about it as meeting the beloved Sacred Union journey, but that's just my personal perspective. So this October's been building up to some really interesting intensity. And I did do a live YouTube stream on Saturday, and that actually went pretty well. And I went into more depth about the dynamic of the unforgiven mother. And then I have been really battling a very, very aggressive kind of a new strain. I think it's a new strain because the typical things that would happen for me with a cold are not happening, and it's taking an incredibly long time to resolve. And it feels to me like an energetic process that is associated for me with the template of the unforgiven mother, and the part of that template that is living within me and has been a part of my hologram from childhood. And I am opening that up. I am not tasked with transforming that template. I don't think any of us are. We're talking about a galactic level template here, and I can tell you more about the story, but that will be in my post on Patreon, which, if I'm feeling well enough, will be up maybe today, maybe tonight. I have so much going on, and I actually have other projects that I'm involved in that are part of my my income stream. What I do here on YouTube does nothing for me in terms of anything related to any of my businesses. It's wow, it's interesting. So anyway, I don't think I'm that bad of a card reader. So let's get started. We do have, this is, you know, if you've been watching my channel, you know this is my signature card for a Sacred Union reading here, the Swan. And you also will recall that the Guardian at the Gate from the Fairy Oracles deck is my signature card for we're going through another process that's going to be part of our ascension journey to get us through the gates. And that this 0 point reset card for me means that we're going to have another timeline change. So that's where we're starting this reading, and I'm going to try to keep it not too complicated. This side of the spine of the reading, you know, for me, this is where the energies blend and interact. Is they move back and forth through the, you know, the DNA or the organization of this reading. We still have the Sacred Union in such really good balance right now. The vibe is very high. The frequencies are very clear and very intense. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sign of more deep healing happening. So here, let me get my sleeves rolled up here. I'm going to make a mess of the cards. I can't really say This is the divine masculine, this is the divine feminine. What we have moved to here is a beautiful balance of energy. So you decide if you resonate, you or cross watcher, if you happen to be watching, with the frequencies of these images. So whale, phoenix, and zebra. Now, in this last week, working through one of the major galactic templates, which we have to travel through to get back to our home and healthy M31 Andromeda galaxy, we have to actually travel through the Toral Rift, the time-space tear in the fabric that is evident near the Orion arm of the spiral. And I will go into this more in the blog post, but Phoenix, the transfiguration fire, is very much up right now, as is the beautiful depth of consciousness that is carried by whale frequency. And here we have the zebra. And for me, the zebra is a symbol of freedom, true freedom, through a unification and coming out of entropy and duality mindset. So cross-watcher, whoever you are, divine feminine, divine masculine, you decide if this is you. Now for the other energy in the union, again, you decide whether these symbolic images resonate for you. We have the beautiful, playful, emotional energy of dolphin. We have this powerful, grounded, protective energy of black bear. And we have the beautiful perspective and the ability to dive and turn and land with precision, and see where we want to go from a very, very high perspective. This is operating in the union as well. Now you can see they're a little bit different, but really we have dolphin and whale, we have phoenix and eagle, and we have zebra and bear. So water energy, grounded energy, and fire energy. It's pretty intense. Now, the first clarifying cards that came out for the union, we have Queen of Wands. It's beautiful new feminine energy carrying passion and purpose and a lot of fire. We have the World, which is coming into the world with a sense of calm and relaxation and power, opening into a new cycle. And we have the Emperor. So those are the three, if you want to think about it, archetypal personalities that are showing up in this reading for those in sacred union. And then we went a little bit further with the clarification. And first out we have the Empress, and obviously she is the frequency match for the Emperor, and they're both actually lined up with the grounded energy of zebra and bear. The World is lined up with the empowering energy of eagle and phoenix, and we have High Priestess here, who is also coming in, lining up with the expanded spiritual perspective, lining up with the World. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. And this is beautiful because I feel that the Queen of Wands is opening into a new aspect of herself as she's moved through the incredibly dense template, moving through, man, we have to travel back through the Toral Rift to ascend. And that means that our whole relationship with resources, earth resources, money, all of our earth resources, we are now in student mode. We are having to learn what these resources are, how to use them responsibly. It's a whole new relationship. So if you want to think about the pentacle, which I hate to think about the pentacle, I like to think of it as having a seed. You're going to learn how to garden differently. So imagine that you've been a farmer for many years who's been just growing corn, and you've been spraying it with Roundup. And now, with the energies that are at hand right now and being dragged back through the Toral Rift and the tear and the time-space, fabric of time-space, you awaken to realize that you're actually growing blighted corn that's full of pesticides that is going to be part of the unforgiven mother's, the dynamic that she's entangled with in that template. This is making people sick. So as a farmer, awakening and understanding, and maybe as someone who's just getting it for the first time, that alcohol, sugar, any of the plantation foods which made people rich by enslaving other people, we're talking rice, we're talking coffee, we're talking sugar, cotton, we're waking up as we go back to our home, our true home. We're having to learn a lot of new information, and not only that, we're having to learn how to be in relationship with all of those changes in our bodies. And I will tell you that in this last, oh gosh, it's pushing on 2 weeks now. Tomorrow it'll be 2 weeks. I have had no appetite. I have been living on water and vitamins and a little bit of soup that I made. And I have had literally no appetite. And so yesterday, when a little bit of appetite returned for me, the guidance came through. It was like, don't you dare go back to your old eating habits of thinking you can occasionally eat meat and it's not going to matter anymore. It's that your vibration right now is being fast, quick recalibration. And please don't fight the recalibration by putting information in your body such as a hamburger or sausage or bacon. Yeah, so those of us who are on this journey are understanding. This is not new information for me, but I can't squeak by anymore. I basically gave up pork 2 years ago, sugar 3 years ago. I'm down to 1 cup of coffee a week. I used to drink 2 cups of coffee a day. This is what happens on the ascension journey. Your body is just gradually guiding you to give up all of the information that you have been conditioned to put into your body by the system that's been set in place by the Unforgiven Mother template. Woo! So, yeah, like that. And so you're learning a lot of new information, and you may be sleeping quite a bit more. You may be feeling a kind of a frequency bombardment at your physical body, at your spiritual body, trying to pull you back into the template, to pull you backwards backwards, 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 so that you stay in the net energy fencing that first began with the tear in space-time fabric a long time ago. And if you're really intentional about the ascension journey for you, you're gonna have to really do some heavy duty work here, or you're gonna get pulled back. And you'll get pulled back, and you may get pulled back at a moment in a timeline shift where you will not have another opportunity to regroup. So, pay attention, listen carefully to your body, talk to your friends. If you want to set up a session with me to get some guidance and information about where you're at right now, and just sometimes validation and reassurance for somebody who's been around doing this as long as I have. The reassurance and validation is meaningful. It is meaningful. So I do private sessions, I do life coaching, I do all those things that people do. I do energy healing, but I don't do Reiki. So, yeah, we're all in it together, and we're doing this work together. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. The Queen of Fire is now going to purify the earth energy. She's been doing that for the last couple months, and you're learning, and you're willing to learn. So that's beautiful. Okay. So what is happening in your everyday life right now? You, if you're working through the Unforgiven Mother template, or even if you're working through any of the dysfunctional templates that those of us who are light workers, those of us who are healers, energy workers, awakened guides, multidimensional embodiments here on the planet, you're working through a lot, and it's going faster and it's becoming more intense, because to keep yourself moving forward on the ascension path is really becoming more challenging, because the momentum of entropy is actually going faster and faster and faster. So, on the what's happening in your life side of this reading, and again, this is not gender specific, we're going to start with what, I'm going to just flip these over for a minute, because the first few cards that I had out, I will share with you. I was asking, like, okay, so what are we dealing with in our daily lives, those of us who are on the ascension journey? And the first card out was Temperance. And I think this is interesting, because you see Temperance, she's got cups of unconditional love, and she's pouring the energy of unconditional love between two cups, balancing them and filling them. So this is about patience and balance. While here, with the Star card, which also came out, we have a different kind of information that is being poured out from the Star. It's not just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So we might want to think about the information from our star system is supplying the intelligent information that we're balancing, or we're trying to balance in our unions with the energy of Temperance. So we had our Temperance, Fire Ant, Snake, and the Devil. And underneath, between Snake between the bookending snake, we have patience, temperance, and we have the fool. So let's take a look at these energies first. First, we had fire ant. And I think those of us who are light workers right now are almost feeling like we are being swarmed. Do you remember, what was that movie, The Green Mile? Where that poor man was accused of killing children that he didn't have anything to do with. He was trying to heal them. And at the end, and somewhere in that movie, all of these, ew, icky, that new CGI technique of the icky metallic bugs came out of him. And I feel that that's a lot of what we're encountering right now. Is it's like someone has got a fire hose turned on, and I say it's Team Dark, and they are spraying. They are spraying. They've got all these fire hoses aimed at those of us who are light workers, and they're hoping they're just going to put our fire out. They're really hoping, since we won't voluntarily share our star fire with them. They're like, okay, you're not going to give it up. You're not going to share it with us. You're not going to allow us to use it the way we've been using it for millions of years. You're done. We're going to wipe you out now. So those of us who are aware that we are gifted with starfire, and we know what that looks like in our lives and in our whole entire soul histories, we're feeling a little bit I don't know. I mean, I'm not irritated because my inner balance is so, but I'm not liking this energy. I mean, I'm moving through it well enough. And interestingly, 2 days ago, in a meditation and a journey, my entire body was surrounded by a beautiful blue flame. And it was like, yeah, it's time to light that flame, because this stuff is going to be coming at you thicker and faster. They are going to try to extinguish your light, try to extinguish your starfire. And since you won't give it up or share it with them anymore, and that's your current situation. So you got to figure out what you're going to do with that. Okay, so light workers and those of us who are aware that we are blissed with starfire. This is why you're feeling so crappy and tired, because you are literally just imagine that in all those they also showed up in that movie with Keanu Reeves where it was The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's that same kind of energy. Being swarmed. Either you're being swarmed or you're being slimed, or you're being swarmed and slimed. Get your flames lit. It's time for those of us who are on the ascension path. This is the timeline. This is it. We got to get our conscious, embodied starfire flames lit and strong, and we're making sure they're not going to be able to be blown out or blasted out or triggered by a false twin flame and sucked out of us. Okay, so next we have snake. Same deal. Same deal. If they're not going to get you this way, they're going to try to get you with snake energy. Oh my goodness. They're starving to death. So if you're familiar with this inside of here in the Ouroboros, you'll know that this is the daisy of death. It is based on dead light, false light, sacred geometry, sacred to Thoth. And yeah, the snake has to eat its tail because it's created a system of entropy. Look at this. This is so clear what this is. This is no new energy coming in and no energy going out. And this is a containment. So this snake is actually a beautiful representation of the Mon net, that Earth and all of the planetary systems, I mean literally in the galaxy, in the Milky Way galaxy, have been netted with snake energy and spider energy and Arcana energy, and you know, you begin to sound like a lunatic, but that's all right because you can feel it in your body, and you know, if you hear this, you hear me saying this, and it resonates in your body, and your body rings like a bell, there you go. So the snake energy is coming up, and the least of these is the devil. So the devil actually is like the organizer that takes, yeah, this is going to be fun. The devil takes the snake energy in its various forms: jealousy, envy, hate, just, you know, the usual self-hate, road markers. It takes this energy, and even though it's in a straitjacket, it just puts this energy into the human forms that are unable to resist and say no. Consciousness can't resist. And its job is to keep us in a low vibration so our consciousness can't resist. Like, oh, I know I shouldn't have another drink, but I'm going to. Oh, I know I shouldn't be drinking at all, but I'm going to. Oh, I really should quit smoking, but I'll do it next week. Oh, whatever your thing is, and right now it's really, oh, I know I should be eating organic food, but I'd rather get a pizza from delivered because I don't feel like cooking. And so on, and so on, and so on. So it's the devil's job. The devil's a peon. The devil's job is to take these higher energies that are coming through the Taural Rift, that have been put in place through the Unforgiven Mother template. It's the devil's job to make sure that those, excuse me for laughing, but when you can see this going on around you in the air, you can see it like coding, well, it starts to become a little bit comical. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh because I know there are people who are actually suffering. Okay. Can't control. It's not within my control whether I drink, whether I smoke, whether I have sex with people I don't care about, whether I cheat, whether I steal, whether I lie, whether I have hateful thoughts and put on a mask of being a people pleaser. These are all, that's what all this stuff is. And then there's this as well. All right, so anyway, it's the devil's job to make sure that that information reaches you at a personal level, at a familial level, at a lineage level, and make sure that you feel chained and not empowered to actually change a habit, make a new choice, and follow through. And it's difficult. Like I said, last 2 weeks, and this last 3-4 days especially, it has been live, mostly raw foods only. And I'm coming from a lineage of meat served every night, roast pork, chicken. This is my lineage. And it has taken me my whole life to come out of that bondage. And I don't like it. But I'm doing it. Because I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that and then have this take me over. or be this and have this running my show. I just can't stand the idea of that. I can't stand the idea of it. I can't stand the feeling in my body. I can't stand seeing how it shows up in my external hologram and relationships with other people. I just simply keep saying, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. I'm going to do this. So this is where we're at right now with the current energies, and you may be in quite a bit of struggle with this. And if you are, I love you, be strong, it's going to be okay. Now we have out next the Fool. So we're on the Fool journey, because the only way to get out of this, this dead-end looping cycle that leads you nowhere, but exactly where you've already always been. In order to break these chains, you've got to be willing to let everything you think you know, understand, intellectually especially, all the ideas of how things work, the science, just you got to be willing to flush this down the shitter and take up this beautiful new energy, which is, for me, the beautiful, loving, rosy, heart-centered energy of Source. And you're now carrying it. This is your flame. So I feel that this is, you know, I mean, I've been at this a long time, and I had some interruptions getting my pure blue flame body in a position where it could be lit and sustained. Because I began with my light body in 2016. And before YouTube shut my channel down, I had many videos up where you could see my light body clearly on the video. I think it's still video available in some of the Vimeo videos where I did the 5G call to action. So yeah, that's probably somewhere here on the channel. It's on my Vimeo channel. So this is me now, only the flame that I'm carrying is a kind of a beautiful blue, bluish white. We have to be willing to burn everything else down, off, and up. And in order to have the courage to do that, you have to have a child's mind and a child's heart. And many of us right now are as we're being dragged back through the Toral Rift, we're having really strong memories of childhood and early childhood where the devil and company working through the template of the unforgiven mother, where we were broken open and then able to be patched in by this energy and then end up like this. So to let go of these addictions and misperceptions and all this stuff, and I've been through years of this, you still have to totally let go and come into child mind. And if you're not a child, the people in your life, you're not living in an ashram of a certain kind, people in your life are going to think you have lost it. And that's a challenge, because that, if your ego hasn't worked it out so that you don't care what other people think, not so much. All right, now, coming along to support the Queen of Wands, moving through the practical side of your daily life dynamic, you have the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So here you have a messenger, fire energy, helping you burn off and transmute anything that's not going to fit through this next gate. And here the Knight of Wands is so sure where he's going, he doesn't even have to look, he doesn't have to look ahead. He's on the path. He knows where he's going. And he knows what energy is moving him and his horse. And this, I would say, for those of you, I think it was in early 90s, I coined the frame download, which, I didn't think it was going to become a thing when I did that. But in my school and in my courses, I would try to describe to people how information came to me, and we had just sort of moved a little bit into the internet, and the download seemed like a good analogy. Not so much anymore. But people still use the language, and I would prefer that I get information. Energy is information. Energy is information, and I get it as a data stream, and now I see it in actual coding, which is new in the last couple of months. But this is you, light worker, getting your new information in. So as you're moving on this beautiful journey now of burning off and purifying your way back through the Toral Rift, you have all the information that you need to stay on your path. And you're not looking ahead. And what I would suggest is, it would be great if you could swivel your head around and close your eyes and not have to look at anything, and let your body and your horse just move, right? But that's so hard for most of us. Our ego is not going to let go of that kind of control. So we have that helping us with fire ant, the swarming and the snake and the devil energy, because we are being gifted with some help. Now, what other help do we have? This is interesting. I wouldn't say this is so much about, well, it could be about help and comfort. If you have really good friends right now who are balanced in their feminine energy and who are capable of sharing unconditional love and emotional comfort, you are so blessed, because this is the cure for the unforgiven mother. It's the genuine feeling of caring for and nurturing and comforting. How we've all been infected, captured, caught, and tortured. Jesus. Okay, so kudos to you if you feel this in yourself as something you're able to share and receive. That is amazing. Okay. I'm glad I'm still able to laugh. All right, so she's here to help. And then clarifying who this Queen of Pentacles, what's behind her energy. We have Pachamama, and this is Gaia and the unforgiven mother in her agreement to transform and transmute and to heal herself, which she is doing as she is moving us through the heart of the sky, back through the Toral Rift, back through where she made her when she was an Aeon and a goddess and lined up with Team Dark to create DNA without asking permission from Source or her God partner. So she didn't mean to, but she did. And part of the Unforgiven Mother template for those of us who are really honest with ourselves, we're aware how this shows up in our behavior, in our sexual choices, and choice of sexual partners, and choice of spouses, and choices that we've made, and how we have, if you have a mother in your life who has who was born through the unforgiven mother template. And I'm trying to imagine that there's any female body on this earth right now who wasn't. I don't think there is one. Well, maybe one or two. But we don't know who they are. And they're doing their work and we don't want to bother them. Okay, because they're really working hard to clean this up. So we have Pachamama Gaia in her evolving consciousness, moving us through the heart of the sky, moving us closer to the scene of the accident, the Taural Rift. Now, her challenge right now is to get through that rift, her consciousness, not this planet, her consciousness, through that rift, and head back to where she originated from. Because the core of the galaxy, which is where the Gnostics say she lived, in the pleroma, known as the sufficiency, which was really the insufficiency. It's the hunger. It's the snake, powerful snake, consuming everything and eating everything. She's got to move her consciousness back through the Taural Rift, which means she's got to move herself out of the Milky Way galaxy and back to M31. And she's got to find a way to take our consciousness and our DNA, which she truly, genuinely loves, her organic, living DNA. And so this is a separation where she's got to say goodbye to the archons that she created inadvertently, the spider children. This is a mess. And we are moving through this right now. So Pachamama's here. She's moving us through the heart of the sky. And we're experiencing this as fast soul retrieval. Boom! See it, heal it, transform it. Boom! See it, heal it. I mean, you can barely take a breath. So this is beautiful because this is what's required right now. But it's too super intense. Super intense. And I will tell you that in talking to the people in my circles and in my communities, the masculine energies are feeling this too. Because they've been born through the unforgiven mother template, whether they remember or not. The remembering is hard. The remembering is painful. And the trick of the remembering is you don't want to dwell there, because when you dwell in the memory, you have set an intention that you're going to use your sacred imagination that way, and you're going to recreate what you don't want. This is tricky stuff, folks. This is like advanced graduate level. Being human, woo! Okay. But this is happening, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, the star card came out, which I talked about, and then we had, what is it that, the devil. First we had the fire ant, then we had the snake, then we had the devil. And then the next card that came out to clarify the devil was, of course, the Seven of Cups, the illusion of choice. The illusion of we can have what we want. And we don't have to be accountable for the creations, the selfish manifestations. We can just turn our heads and look away. We don't have to be responsible for the, what's going on underneath the ground under our feet, the fracking. Too bad about those homeowners who had their mineral rights swept out from under their feet by unscrupulous corporations, and now their water is poisoned. Uh-oh. Who are you going to call? Nobody. We're at the point now where we're clear none of this is going to get fixed. It's impossible to fix it. It really now is impossible to fix it. So we turn away from trying to fix it, and we look at all the illusions that we have been chained to. You going to think of each one of these cups as an illusion, as an addiction, as a false promises of a pathway to feel loved and cherished and comforted. None of those are true. And so what's happening now as we're moving back through the Toro Rift is that we are looking at the death of so many parts of ourselves, the molecules, the atoms, the cellular structures that are going to have to go. And she's not messing around. I'll tell you what, Pachamama, she is not messing around. She's going to do it. Whether we do it or not, that's not her. It's not up to her. It's up to us, each one of us. But she's like, I'm done. I am done with this. So she is moving right through this. And she's moving right for the devil. And then the snake. And then the fire hoses of buggy, metallic, Arcana, annoying spider, creepy critters. And she is going to not stop until she is absolutely certain that all of that information is neutralized. It was, it has been imbued with our life force, our starfire, which was siphoned off from us without our consent. So she's on the move, and she is not messing around. And she's going to make sure that all of that she got pulled into eons and eons ago without understanding, somebody invites you to be a goddess of a whole galaxy. Like, who's going to say, right? Would you say no to that? I think I would now, but So this is what's going on here, which is fantastic. Can't happen soon enough for me. So if you're not following politics, this can kind of be kind of boring. You're not going to hear about this in church. You might hear a little bit about it on YouTube, but I've got some other videos in my 5D education playlist that you might want to check out. So then what else did we have out? As if we needed more validation. Maybe we do. Maybe some of us do need more validation. Okay. Okay, you can have it. Spirit and Source will give it to you. So then we have the Star card. And then we had Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. So this is all about turning this wheel. I would say this really correlates to this wheel. Wheel of entropy, the wheel of black hole entropy, the wheel of the Vesica Pisces, which goes nowhere, brings in no new energy. Being willing to see the truth of that and wielding light workers, we've got to wield this sword. And we've got to cut through the bullshit. We've got to cut through anything in us that's aligned with the unforgiven mother. Doesn't matter what our gender is, right? We got to do this without attacking ourselves. We've got to do this without hating ourselves. Got to do this without hating our mothers for more than a few minutes. Our grandmothers, any of the women who agreed to be part of this downline from the unforgiven mother. So this is our work. So while we have these archetypal energies supporting us, this is death, man. She's archetypal. She's the energy that can go after this. She's bigger. She's bigger than this energy. And on our human level, she's like, follow me. Just follow me. Follow me. Follow, follow. Earth woman, bring your sword. Follow, follow. Earth man, bring your sword. Follow, follow. Just follow me. Follow, follow, follow. So we're following her. And we're making a choice whether or not we're going to eliminate this energy that's living within us. Right? But we have beautiful, 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 beautiful. These are all major arcana here. You have the High Priestess. We have the world. The world which we originally came from. The source-connected galaxies and universes that we have access to through M31 Andromeda. We have the child's heart of the Fool. You know, being surrounded by these energies. And our shift in consciousness is telling us at a very deeply cellular and felt level that we have what we need to turn the wheel within us, and that we can choose that, and that we will have what we need to do it. So I will share more about the rip in time space and the toral rift. There are lots of references, and what happens is these dots don't get cross-connected across the separated chasms of information that are YouTube. So you'll have somebody talking about Rudolf Steiner, and Rudolf Steiner talks about the tear in time space, and so, but you know, there's a lot of little links, but they don't really get connected because everybody's focused on, well, Steiner was an expert, and Steiner said blah 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 blah, and no one asks, where was Steiner getting his information? Right? Where was that coming from? Really good question, right? I mean, when I get information, man, I'm always like, where's this coming from? And I get it validated 16 ways from Sunday, and there have been times when I've had information come into me. I was invited to channel in 1990, I think, after my awakening in 1989, and I said no. I'm not having some other consciousness come in and communicate through me and take over my awareness and take over my... Absolutely not. Because I had a validation process, and that offer didn't cut it. I think that was an offer from the Galactic Federation. I was like, no, never mind, bye. Okay, so we have a lot of help here. We're coming to again, back to the spine of the reading. With the timeline shift, we have the very gentle energy of the fawn. Now we have the Page of Wands, which is responding to this beautiful energy of the Queen of Wands and the Phoenix. And it's bringing this information and this energy into community in small, loving, caring conversations. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles that is also supporting us and having these conversations with our children. Because our young children, our adolescents, are confused and depressed. And there's elephants. There's several elephants in everyone's living room, and everybody's pretending like they're not there, and we're not going to talk about it. And if you don't have a spiritual grounding in your family, this is doubly hard. I am not talking about religion. I am talking about a heart-centered spiritual grounding in which you simply care for humanity and you care for this planet. So these energies have come in to help us remember who we are and why we're here. It's all about learning how to give, express, share, and be love. And then I asked for, from the perspective of the ancient ones, what are we doing? In the next few days. The Time Master is here. This is just, yes, you're going to be having the opportunity to change your timeline. You can choose to get on the timeline that will take you back through the Taural Rift. You can come out of the middle world confusion and haze and daze. You can come out of this energy. You can come out of this energy. This is what's in the world, in the middle world right now. This is what entropy looks like in the 3D world. You're seeing it all around you. We're all feeling it. You can come out of this middle world. In fact, you're supposed to come out of it. And that's going to feel like taming the wind. So now we're bringing in the element of air, which I love. And we're bringing in the opportunity to come into a much more conscious relationship with our thoughts. And in working with this, moving back through the Unforgiven Mother and the Taural Rift, boy, I'm pretty aware of what I think, but I went to a whole new level. Whole new level. I had thoughts and words and phrases that my mother and father said to me when I was a very young child, just popping up like champagne bubbles from a spoiled bottle of wine this last couple days. Just the actual moments when breath was given to these energies and words were uttered and my ears heard them. Ill wind being aimed at me. And we have to take mastery of this, or we're going to still be chained. This is really intense, physically demanding work. Physically demanding, but it's happening, and I mean, I'm very grateful because I don't know where this will, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I couldn't tell you. We're not meant to know. But I can tell you that I'm on the journey and that I'm grateful for it. And I hope you're grateful for it. Light workers and all of you, twin flames and sacred union counterparts who are men, we have as a collective begun working on some really huge galactic level templates. Galactic. Galactic level templates that absolutely have to do with how we experience time in the 3D construct, in that time domain. Now mind you, there are 15 dimensions in our time matrix. Fourth density, or what we perceive as the 3D construct, that's 4 out of 15. To ascend, to get clear, to be able to move back to M31, to your origin, your point of origin from within source, you gotta move through a minimum of 15 dimensions and get yourself whole. This is a lot of information, a lot of orchestration, a lot of awareness, a lot of understanding your multidimensional nature, and that you are pretty much everywhere and anywhere that you ever wanted to be. So, you and the Time Master are taming the wind. And we feel it here in the middle world. And this is where we're feeling it, because this is where our physical bodies are. But our consciousness is everywhere. And that's the wind that we're taming. We're taming the wind of our consciousness that is everywhere in creation. It could be anywhere. And we've got to tap it and recognize it and be in a conscious relationship with it. We're going to need a lot of naps, that's what I'm predicting. So then lastly, what I had out for the Divine Feminine, we have the Tree of Life. This is the healing that's happening within the Divine Feminine collective. We're literally cleaning out those parts of our reproductive systems that have been contaminated, not by our own base desires, but our lack of understanding about what our star fire is and how to use it. Okay? Really something to have to learn fast. For the Divine Masculine, we have the medicine wheel. And here in this medicine wheel, you see only the 4 directions. There are many more directions. Within your own physical body, there are 6 directions of energy flows that hopefully that are open. You're able to allow energy to come through you that way. I think in 5D education, I'll put up the Native American hoop circle dance so you can get a better understanding of what that is embodied. Because here, once again, you see symbols that are taken for granted. Only 4 directions. The bird tribe, snake or reptilian tribes, the lion or cat people tribes. And so this is the energy that's embedded in our subconscious. We have accepted these symbols. And because we have accepted these symbols, the energy coming from the lion people can find its way into our consciousness. Now, do we want that or do we not? We don't know. The reptilians, the Anunnaki, the Draco, do we want them interacting with us? If we haven't cleared out the snake energy, we don't know. Same is true of the bird tribes, which includes the Pleiadians, and I belong to that group. So this medicine wheel, I would encourage each of us to make our own medicine wheel card based on intuition, based on this kind of information showing up for us in dream time, in meditation. Make your own medicine wheel. But give it 6 directions and see what's different for you if you try that. Don't worry about whether you're a good artist or not. That's not the idea. The idea is just to connect with your own inner wisdom in a way that's visual and symbolic for you, so you can learn how to use it. And lastly, from Source, we have, just remember that you are the beloved. You are beloved by Source. When it gets really intense and really rough and really confusing and really painful, just take a few minutes to breathe. And just state it. I am beloved by Source. Source is beloved by me. We are the beloved. It's just that simple. And then breathe through your whole body and invite Source's organization of living, loving light to be part of your energy systems in any incarnation in which you currently have consciousness invested. You might want to mark this on the video and write that down. Okay, so that's it for me, just to let you know. A lot of what I'm talking to you about, the intelligence, the intelligent design, all this understanding, coding, and information expressed as pure frequency and energy. This is what goes into our Source solutions. And I'm using mine now. Now, all of them are topical, so, you can't swallow it like an aspirin. But boy, there are 3 that have been helping me this week. Source Spark, Starfire, and Golden Flow. So if you're interested in those you'd have to get from me directly. So you can email me at patreonsage@gmail.com and let me know that you're interested. And take a look at our Source Solutions website so that you can see what else we have available. Okay, much love to you all. This is, this is quite the journey. And I am so grateful to be on it. I would prefer this crazy trip to going down a black hole any day of the week, any hour of the day. Hope maybe you feel that way too, maybe you don't, I don't know. Alright, just for fun, because it is fun for me to see what my own cards have to say or contribute to a reading. I'm going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Mix them up in a messy way. These, it doesn't matter which way they go. Cut. Hi, cards. Do you have Angel Bee cards? Do you have anything you... Wait till I finish asking. Do you have anything you want to contribute? Oh, all right. So this is open up, and this is open up to the 6 directions in your energy body, energy field, energy coming in. That's a good one. Thank you for that. And anything else you want to share? Okay, there's a couple there. Who knows? It's a lot. Father bloodline. Interesting. Yeah, what is your father bloodline dynamic with the unforgiven mother? Tap into your heart resonance. Nice. Patience, please. Sweet. Anything else? It's kind of, you gotta pull it out of the deck for me to take it. And let it just be one. If you have another one that you want to share, just one. So we're going through this back through the Toral Rift. Patience, I guess, is the key. Oh, here we go. Merge within. Yeah. So we're continually having to do these timeline merges from within. Yep. There's your gate, there's your reset, there's the gentle energy of the fawn moving through the gate. Here we have the lovers of all life here merging within. Okay, it's time for me to go take a nap. I'll get this posted, I don't know, maybe later this afternoon. Peace and blessings to you all. Do check out my Patreon Sage channel. And let me remind you that I do have scheduled tomorrow night my Conscious Co-Creation Masterclass. You're welcome to sign up for it. If I will go through with it if people sign up. Otherwise, I may begin the cycle next week. Hopefully, I will be all through this mess a week from now and feeling completely back to rights. All right, thank you very much for watching. Peace and blessings.